Welcome, welcome, welcome to the Get Fit With Me, expanding your physical and mental fitness group. This group is for individuals who are ready to expand both their physical and mental fitness while helping and supporting others with similar goals all along the way. In this group, we talk about three main areas of focus: physical fitness, which is our focus today; mental fitness, which is where we talk about accountability, organization, habits, micro habits, anything along those lines. And then we also talk about nutrition, which was last week's topic, where we talked about how you can have a healthy lifestyle. You can have balanced meals that fuel you and make you feel good without having to count calories or count macros. So today, like I said, we're talking about physical fitness, and today is super, super important that if you are here and you are able to click that Zoom link above me and join me here in the Zoom room, you are going to get the most out of it. I know I say it every week, but today we are going to be practicing form. I want to be able to see what are your knees doing, what are your hips doing, give you one-on-one coaching onto how to make these moves fit you specifically. So if you are here, if you're on Facebook, let me know. Are you live? Are you watching the replay? And if you are live with us, please click that Zoom link above. Let me see what your body looks like. How is it moving today? Because so often we end up doing things and we think we're doing them right until somebody tells us that we're not. And then the light bulb clicks of, oh, that's easier, or oh, I don't have pain there anymore. Thank you. So I want to be that little light bulb today as you are moving through some of these movements as we talk about functional fitness. I also want to thank all of you for being here and for inviting people into this group. A way to thank me is to keep inviting people in who you think are going to benefit from these calls. If you're like, this person would be really good, she's really struggling with this, or do you just know anyone who needs a spot to connect with other people, to support one another, and who would like some help in their health and wellness, or just like to learn about it, invite them into the group. As this group grows, that is a way to thank me. So this was also a little announcement. On Tuesday was my 1-year anniversary of going full-time into Get Fit With Me. Back in February was 1 full year of this Facebook group. Tuesday was 1 full year of being a solopreneur. And I couldn't do it without you guys. So I just wanted to say a big thank you for being here, for showing up, for asking questions, for wanting to work with me one-on-one, to wanting to just be here in this free group, to just having conversations and growing that connection, whether it is we work together or we don't. So as we get into today, like I mentioned, we're going to be talking about functional fitness. And as you can see, I'm a little bit further from the computer screen today. And that is because I have a bench and a mat that I'm going to be utilizing as we talk about some things. So at this time, if you are going to participate along, I really suggest making sure you have a chair or a bench or something that you can sit on where you have about a 90-degree bend in your knees. And then we are going to be down on the ground. So make sure you have an area. If you struggle to get up and down off the ground, a really good thing to do is put yourself next to a couch, a chair, a coffee table, and to also have something soft so that when you are kneeling, you're not messing up that kneecap, because I understand when you kneel on hard stuff, it kind of shoots a pain in some spots depending on how you kneel. Functional fitness. How many of you know what functional fitness is? If you know what it is or you have an idea of what it is, drop it in the comments. I want to hear, what do you think functional fitness is? And it can look a little bit different, but as long as you get the basis, that's what matters. We all have different verbiages for it. Functional fitness is when we practice moves in our workouts that correlate and translate into everyday activities. So for instance, a squat. We practice the squat. Really, this correlates to picking something up off the ground, or getting up off the toilet. So often we think about workouts, because I used to think about workouts like this. I had to burn an X amount of calories. I had to feel a certain way. I had to sweat. I had to do all of these things until I learned and until I incorporated functional movements and saw that I don't care how much I sweat, I don't care how many calories I burn, but do I feel good? Am I moving my body? And are the moves that I'm doing correlating to my everyday life? So if you're an athlete, these moves are going to look different than the general population. Reason I'm talking about this is I have 4 80-plus-year-old clients. All 4 of them live on their own. They still live in a house. They're not in a community. They're not having assistance. And part of that reason is they move. They move, whether they dedicate twice a week with me, or they dedicate twice a week with someone else, or they just get out and move every single day. And moving looks different. But if you incorporate functional fitness now, you are going to live a longer life. You are going to feel better. You're going to have less aches and pains. Your mood is going to be better. And you're going to be able to continue doing the things you love. And I want to help you create a healthy lifestyle you love, where you don't have to give up the things you love in food and in activity. So some of the moves that we are going to be going through today are going to be balance, squats, a hinge, and some carries. There's a lot of other stuff that we could talk about, and I may hit on them, but those are really going to be our 4 main ones that we focus on. And we're going to be practicing some moves, and I'm going to tell you where you may use these in the house. But I first want you to start thinking about, what are some of those daily activities that you do? What are things you do almost every single day? I go to the bathroom, shower, walk out to the mailbox, cook, grab something out of the cabinet. I move weights, because that's what my job is, or a portion of my job. I sit down, I stand up. It's fall, we rake leaves. What are some of these everyday activities, or just maybe these activities that you're doing now because it's fall time? The reason I'm having you think about this is every single thing I listed off corresponds to one of those categories I talked about today. If I'm getting up and down off the toilet, off the couch, off the chair, I'm using my quads. I need to practice a sit to stand or a squat often. I need to strengthen these muscles. These stairs, if I'm not strengthening my quads and I'm not practicing these moves, these stairs would be awful, but they're a breeze. If I'm not practicing reaching above head, my range of motion, I'm not gonna be able to get something out of the cabinet. If I'm not practicing working my core stabilizers and doing farmer's carries, suitcase carries, things like that, carrying in groceries probably looks like this or like this, and we don't want that. If I'm not practicing a hinge movement, whether it's like this or it's a glute bridge on the ground, I'm gonna throw my back out putting dishes away in the dishwasher, because instead of this, or even a side one to put them away, I'm doing this. Same thing, pulling something out of the oven, grabbing something out of the fridge. If I don't practice my balance, that shower can get real dicey. Walking out to the mailbox can get dicey. So all of these aspects really do fall into our everyday life. And I want each and every one of you to live a healthy, long, ache-free, pain-free, injury-free life, and not have to no longer be able to go outside and do your yard work, no longer be able to live on your own. And it all starts now. So like I mentioned, I have a few 80-year-old clients. They all didn't start years ago. Maybe you're in your 30s right now and you're like, crap, I need to start now, I'm behind. I do have clients who did wait till they were 70 or 60 or until they had something traumatic happen to them. And they had that eye-opener of, oh shit, if I want to keep doing this, I got to do something different. So it may take that eye-opening moment, or you can be proactive and get started now. So I want you to look at today's training as a way to, maybe you're already doing some of these things and you just don't understand why you are doing them, or maybe you're not doing these things at all. when we go and find free workouts everywhere, you're gonna do them, but you don't always know the why behind them, and today is the why behind them. Because if we don't know the why behind them, the likelihood of us continuing to do them is probably really low. We need to know the why. Why are they even important? What is it helping? How is it going to benefit me? And that's what we're gonna talk about. So as we get into some movement, make sure you have that chair. We are gonna start with those quads. Our quads are super important. They help get us up and down off the stairs. They help us get us up and off that toilet. None of us want to be stuck there, and if we've been stuck there in the past, I don't want you to get stuck again, and I want you to be able to have the strength to get yourself up. So, first progression, and I will say I'm going to show multiple modifications and multiple progressions, and if there's one of these that just does not work for you, I'm not going to cover them all. So if there is one that you want, that you're like, okay, none of it worked for me, just drop help in the comments and we will find the one that is the perfect fit for you. I am going to kind of do 2 to 3. Every move has about 2 to 10 progressions and modifications. So if I did all of them, we would be here forever. So I'm going to keep it nice and concise today. But if you are struggling with any of these and you need a different modification or progression, drop help or send me a direct message and we'll jump on a call and I'll help look at your alignment. So first one we have is a sit to stand. Often we bring our feet together, we tuck them underneath us, and then we press ourselves up and we stand. Maybe you can get up and down off the ground or up and down off the chair, okay, like that. Great. But long term, you're not necessarily using the strongest muscles. And when you tuck your feet under, you don't have a good base of support. So when you are sitting, I practice this every time I get up and down off the toilet, because you're going to hear me say that a lot today. But it's the practicality of this, that when I'm done, no matter how I'm sitting, out of a chair, out of a couch, off the toilet, off this bench, I will consciously, because subconsciously we put ourselves in a weird position and we stand up. I consciously take my feet, make sure I have about a 90-degree bend here in my knees. Knees and toes are pointing the same direction. I'm never like this, because they're not pointing the same direction. I'm not out here, but I'm just kind of about hip width. Knees and toes point out slightly, and then I press through and stand, and then I will take off. So I want you to practice a sit to stand. How do you normally, subconsciously, how do you get up and down? If you start noticing that and you start just taking those steps throughout your day to consciously set yourself up for success, squeeze your glutes as you stand, press through your big toes and your heels, and then sit back down, you're working these muscles. You're working your glutes. You're working your core. You're working your balance. If you cannot get up with that, my next suggestion is to use something with hands, press yourself up equally, still get this good position here. That third one, depending on where you are, is hands on your knees, press yourself up. Biggest thing that you should see here is my feet and my knees are not changing. They're not moving, they're concrete to the ground once I'm in the right position. If a sit to stand is super easy for you, what you can do is, one, I want you to consciously start doing this in your everyday life. But when you are working out, if a sit to stand is easier for you, what you're gonna do is you're gonna move into a squat. And the depth of your squat is gonna determine how tight and how mobile your hips are. So same thing, I have a longer hip, my legs are very long. So with that being the case, I do go out a little bit wider because it's more comfortable for my hips and the anatomy of my body. If you're a little bit shorter in length, you may be a little narrower. As long as you're not here, and as long as we're not out here, that's all I care about. So I'm going about right here, same thing, knees and toes are pointing out. I'm going to engage my core, I'm gonna lower and back up, pressing through, heels and big toes. We're just gonna practice that squat. Maybe your hips are really tight. Maybe you haven't done a squat ever, or it's been a long time. Set yourself up and just practice a little mini squat. Squeeze your butt as you stand. So squats, super important. This is the mini, this is the normal. Mini, normal. All with control. So that squat motion helps you with the stairs, helps you get up and down out of a chair, helps strengthen these muscles right here. These are probably the most worked muscles of your body throughout the day. If you think about it, you get up and down a lot, you walk, you use these ones a lot. So if you have any questions on the squat, drop them in the chat, let me know. Did everything feel okay? What other areas would you may use these muscles that you find? Walking, running, stepping over something that also has balance. So the next move that we're going to move into, like I said, drop your questions in the comments. If you need a different progression or modification, let me know. We'll talk one-on-one. So next one is that hinge, and that is where I showed you pushing that hips back. See how I have a nice straight line from my head to my tailbone? And standing up, squeezing your glutes. This is working your butt and your hamstrings. Two other big important muscles that you use every single day. And that if these are not strong enough, these can lead to low back pain. We don't want low back pain. So we have to practice strengthening our glutes and strengthening our hamstrings to prevent that low back pain. So first thing you're going to do is, if you are standing, because you can do this anywhere, you don't need to get down on the ground, you're going to take your feet hip width apart, knees and toes both face forward for this one. You're going to take your hands and you're going to place them, depending on your range of motion, you're going to place them on that low back or just down here on your butt. See how I'm not locked out? I just have a loose slight bend in them. Now I'm going to push my hip back. See how I have a nice straight line from my head to my tailbone? I feel a little stretch right here. Once you feel that little stretch, you're going to squeeze your butt cheeks and stand on up. Push those hips back. Stand and squeeze. This motion right here is practicing, let's get something out of the oven. We can even do it with one leg. Oh, let's grab something out of the fridge. Or maybe we can use that squat to grab something out of the fridge. So that hinge motion. If this right here is not feeling right, because there is a brain to body connection that I find some people struggle with, we've all been there. You're gonna move your way down to the ground into a glute bridge. So I always tell people, tuck your feet up right underneath you to start, then walk them out so you're about at 90. Press your low back into the ground, core nice and tight, press through those heels, lift your hips in the air, squeeze your butt, and then lower. You are working that hinge motion. The only difference is you're doing it on the ground. So if you are someone who has thrown your back out in the past, it was probably from bending over in a way that was not right. You quickly turned, quickly bent over, quickly grabbed something. You need to add more hinges into your workouts. You need to be more conscious of them in your everyday life. That is that hinge motion. We want to use our glutes and our hamstrings to bring our body up and control our body rather than using that back. Any questions on the hinge? Drop them in the comments. Let me know. Okay, so as we move through, we've done our squat, we've done our hinge. Before we move on to the next moves, I'm gonna share something. Some of you are probably thinking, okay, great. How am I supposed to do these? I don't work out, but I need to practice these moves. Blah blah blah. All these thoughts are coming to your head. I have a mini circuit book. It's an ebook where each of the mini circuits incorporate some sort of these moves. If you want access to that mini circuit book, drop mini. I'll send it to you. It's got all the moves, how many you're going to do it. It's all 10 minutes or less. So if you can fit 10 minutes into your day, which I can guarantee we all can, even if it's watching TV at the end of the night, then drop mini into the comments and I'll send you that ebook. Because incorporating these moves in just 10 minutes a day is going to make a difference to take your workouts into your everyday life and make you stronger overall. That's going to make you happier, healthier, and live longer. Okay, so number 3, we're going to move into balance. This is kind of like I said, when you're in the shower, you're on a slippery surface, you're walking out to the mailbox, got that stupid mole hole in the middle of the yard that I fell into, or the driveway's uneven. Balance instability is anything around how you walk in trying to literally just stay balanced on a flat surface. And before we move into unsolid, so soft ground or uneven ground, we gotta be able to do things with flat feet. Flat feet, hard ground, no surroundings that are gonna alter you. I'm misplacing the word in my head right now. So something else that you can do is, depending on the shoes you're in, take your shoes off. If you have rounded shoes like I do, it may cause you to kind of rock back and forth. So go on a flat foot. Practicing balance on a flat foot without a shoe is the best type of balance to practice. If you're not able to do that, definitely put on a stable shoe for you. But if you're able to practice barefoot, please do. So some of the balance exercises that we do are just stand up nice and tall, look straight ahead. We just practice your breathing. Do you rock back and forth? Do you stand nice and tall? Close your eyes now. Ooh, do you feel yourself falling backwards? Do you feel yourself falling forwards? Or do you feel stable? Always when you start these, put yourself next to a wall, next to a chair, next to something to hang on to until you get used to it. Next one, single leg. Anytime we do anything while we are standing or on our legs, we should never be locking those legs out. Like, I'm never locking my right leg out as I lift my left leg in the air. I have a slight bend. We want that bounce in that knee. Nice flat foot, toes are spread, create that large base of support. So once you've mastered, or you're feeling pretty confident in your two legs, in your single leg, you then get to practice step overs. We step over things, forward and back. We can practice, I like to call this the Mario. Balance is nothing crazy or out of the ordinary. But if we're not practicing it, and we're not conscious of our core muscles, we're not conscious of our knee, we're not conscious of our muscles, and we're just willy-nilly flying around here, we're not actually working on balance. We're just standing on one leg. Consciously think about, hey, when I balance on one leg, this is my left leg, can I hold still? Can I engage my core? Can I close my eyes? How long can I do that for? And we slowly progress. We progress into using weight. We progress into doing it on an uneven surface by taking this mat, rolling it up, and then we're on this uneven surface practicing. But before we get into that, you have to practice feet down, flat surface, hard, stable. Balance is super important so you don't fall in the shower. So you can catch yourself when you feel unstable. Outside, inside, wherever it may be. So the other one that we're going to talk about today is going to be the carry. And the carry is one that often we don't think that we're like, I don't do much carry. Oh, we do a lot of carrying throughout the day without realizing. Whether it's a plate in your hand, the groceries, the trash bag, moving this bench, picking something up and putting it. If you have something in your hands as you are walking across somewhere, you're carrying something. So carries are really important, and there's two types of carries that I really like to focus on. And I'm gonna grab my little dumbbells so I can show you. They are black, so they may be a little hard to see, but a farmer's carry is weights to your side, shoulders rolled back and down, weights off about 45 degrees. So from here, I'm pressing the weights into the ground, and I'm walking straight ahead, keeping my balance, core nice and tight, down and back. When you carry your groceries, I want you to pull your shoulders back and down, pull that weight off your body. Farmers carry your groceries in. As you step over, yes, that is a step when I come in with groceries, step over, not this. We're not dragging our groceries in like this. No, shoulder, use those back muscles, use your core muscle, use your arm muscles. We have these muscles. Let's engage them. Let's use them. Let's not ruin the back and ruin the spine. The other type of carry is going to be a suitcase, or I know a lot of us don't have suitcases that you have to carry on one side anymore, or a briefcase carry or a trash bag carry. So same concept as that farmer's carry. The only difference is you have one weight instead of two. So weights off here, This is where I also see that trash bag. I don't want to touch that. So we walk like this. See this weird angle that I got going on? This is not engaged. This doesn't feel good. This is being all funky. Pull yourself up, tuck your hips, belly button pull the spine, weight off, and walk without swinging. The biggest thing when we do any of this is we want to be nice and upright, and we don't want to swing that weight. Imagine there are buckets of water. It is Michigan. It is negative degrees. We don't want that water touching us. We need to keep that water as stable as possible. So when you do that suitcase carry, you want to make sure that you switch sides. Up nice and tall, weight off the body, shoulders pulled back and down. If you find that you're walking all kind of tight-ropey or feeling all jiggly, drop your weight. If your weight's too heavy, but also walk normal. These are just normal carries. They're not anything special with our feet. Often when I have people do this the first couple times, is we all of a sudden forget how to walk. And that's okay. All you're doing is carrying in the groceries. Just add some proper form to it. Let's strengthen our muscles. Strengthen that back. Let's open that chest up. Those carries literally correlate everywhere in our life. And if we can practice our carries and stabilize our core, we're going to stabilize our back, and we're going to end up with less back pain. So today we talked about squats, hinge, balance, and carries. And I know in the beginning I mentioned grabbing something out of the cabinet, that's range of motion, that's a press. Like I said, we could get into this and go on forever, but I wanted to keep it short and sweet with these 4 moves. So I did mention if you want access to the mini circuit ebook where it's 10 minutes or less, little mini circuits that you can incorporate in your day, drop mini in the comments and I will get that to you. Practice these. Consciously start pausing in the middle of your day. We move so fast. We do so many things. We're very, very active. And our mind is not always there when we're doing these things. So when we are sitting and you're at the toilet and you're done, instead of doing your thing and getting right up and walking out, square up your feet. Takes 2 seconds. Stand up, now walk out. You may find these muscles are going to be sore. It means we're not using them. We need to use them so we don't lose them and so you can stay strong and healthy all over all your life, and you can still at 80 be living in a house on your own. So I want to know, what questions do you have about balance or squats or hinging or carrying? Do you have any questions? If you do, what are they? Drop them in the comments. Let me know. This chat does live on, so if you are watching the replay, still drop them because I will go back and I'll watch them. I'll either send you a video, we'll type back and forth, we'll have a dialogue. I'm not just going to let them go by. So I'm going to give you some updates here as you're thinking of questions, typing things in. And I do want to kind of see at the end, if you have made it this far, drop move in the comments. Let me know that you've made it this far in the training. I like to see who has made it so far and who kind of drops off. So if you've made it this far, drop move. Updates for the month of November. 2 weeks and our Commit to Your Health program launches. I'm going to give you the details here just so you have them. We have one kickoff party. We've got weekly meetings that we're going to deep dive into water, stretching, range of motion, functional fitness, certain exercises, nutrition, sleep, stress. Each week we're going to deep dive into a different topic for some group coaching calls. All those calls are going to be recorded in case you cannot be in it. We will have a private Facebook group. We're going to have a send-off party. That send-off party is going to be where I'm going to award a few people for their participation and the commitment that they had to themselves and their health this holiday season. So what that looks like is every single day we're gonna first, at the start, we're gonna create a commitment for you, not for me, for you. We're gonna create a commitment. You're gonna agree to that commitment, and every day I'm gonna check in with you. Did you do it or did you not do it? And every day that you said you did it, your name goes in a drawing. And at the end, there's gonna be a prize or a few prizes. I'm still working on what I want those to look like, and I want them to be specific to each and every one of you, so it may wait till the end until I get some of that figured out. But So in addition to that, we have that private Facebook group. There's going to be ebooks, there's going to be templates for meal prepping, recipes, exercises, literally access to the entire library that I've created here that my one-on-one clients get. You will get access to in the Commit to Your Health program. It runs from November 21st through January 6th. So you're actually getting an extra day or an extra week. So it is a 6-week program. But that final week, there's going to be that kickoff party and kind of getting you set up to go into the new year. So 6 weeks of hard work, 7th week is to get you set up for 2023. So I want you to go into the new year successful and with a plan. So if you're interested in hearing what the price is for this or how can you sign up or anything like that, drop commit in the comments, let me know. I'll send you the details, I'll send you the price, whatever you want or whatever you're looking for, and you can sign up. Like I said, we got 2 weeks till I'm just about closing the door because I want to get everyone onboarded, I want to get everybody in. So if you're interested, drop commit, I'll reach out to you. Finally, you do have access in that program to all of my live and on-demand group fitness classes. I've had people asking recently. The schedule will go out on Monday, so be on the lookout for that. We don't have any that I believe that we are missing for the month of November, but we do have some other fun stuff coming up with Thanksgiving. So let me know questions, comments. What was your takeaway from today? Are you still here? Are you dropping move? Do you want that mini circuit ebook? Drop mini. And if you want to be part of the Commit to Your Health program this year, where you are actually going to create a habit and make change in your lifestyle that is going to move you forward towards that goal you are having, drop commit. Don't wait till the new year. Start now. If you can conquer it during the holidays, you can conquer it any other time of the year, I promise you. So I will see you all next week as we are talking about goal setting for 2023. Let's set those goals. Let's get a plan now. Because if we're waiting until 2023, what's going to happen in the next 2 months? So I will see you all next week. Enjoy the rest of your day.